The Kurdish Peshmerga are fighting what looks to many increasingly like a losing battle against IS militants in northern Iraq. Coalition airstrikes are helping keep Islamic State fighters at bay, but military experts agree they can only ultimately be defeated by ground forces. The government here is adamant the boots on the ground will not be worn by British troops, but the news that a dozen soldiers from the 2nd Battalion, the Yorkshire Regiment, are in northern Iraq to train the Peshmerga to use UK-supplied heavy machine guns, similar to those which were used in Afghanistan, is raising fears about mission creep and British forces getting sucked into the conflict by the back door.
This doesn't mean at all that we're going to have combat troops on the ground in the front line, but of course you find you've got people giving advice. If you've got an advance from the enemy suddenly to where you are, you're having to defend the guys who are fighting. So, you know, there is always that danger, but I think it was right that we should have got involved in countering ISIL. But it does mean that there are lots of areas we're involved in. I mean, intelligence, in resupply, in training. You know, it's much, much broader than just 6 tornadoes taking off and firing a few, well, I think it's 8 now, isn't it, dropping a few bombs.
When the Prime Minister got support for the RAF to join airstrikes against IS targets in Iraq, it specifically precluded the use of ground forces.
We're not deploying British combat troops, but we are providing air power in support of local forces on the ground. No British or Western troops will occupy Iraq.
The trainers from 2 Yorks are based outside the northern Iraqi town of Erbil and are due to be there for just a week. But with more British weapons and ammunition due to be supplied to the Kurdish forces in the coming months, it seems likely more trainers will need to be deployed and more British boots will be on the ground in Iraq once again. David Bowden, Sky News.